My Parents Open Carry, a pro-gun kids book from White Feather Press. 13-year-old Brenna and her parents spend their day in typical fashion. But what's not so typical is that Brenna's parents lawfully open carry handguns for self-defense. And the Strongs join a growing number of families who are standing up for their Second Amendment right and bringing gun ownership out of the closet. Order your copy of this unique kids book at myparentsopencarry.com.
It's a bumpy ride through the political jungle with Nate and Brian.
Believe me, if I started murdering people, there'd be none of you left.
What?
The following message contains a special offer for listeners of this station. Are you a man over 40? Are you constantly looking for the nearest bathroom? Do you wake up multiple times a night to use the bathroom? Right now, Perfect Prostate is sending out free bottles of their groundbreaking new formula to listeners of this station. Perfect Prostate formula was developed by medical doctor Mitchell Fleischer, and its ingredients have been clinically studied to reduce your frequent nighttime bathroom visits and promote healthy urine flow. Right now, preferred customers get their first bottle of Perfect Prostate absolutely free. There's nothing to lose. Perfect Prostate is guaranteed to reduce that constant urge to use the bathroom, especially at night, and promote healthy urine flow. Don't wait. Call now for your free bottle. Just pay shipping and processing. Dial 1-800-680-9903. That's 1-800-680-9903. Supplies are limited. One free bottle per household. Call now. Dial 1-800-680-9903. That's 1-800-680-9903.
Whenever I'm feeling a little down under, I can always count on Nate and Brian for their interesting perspective on topics important to freedom and civil rights by listening to the At Odds Show. Nate and Brian cover important topics with insight, intelligence, and of course humor. I can always expect a laugh or two. So if you want to be informed and have a great time, give these guys a listen.
At Odds.
Are you looking for some way cool t-shirts? Check out ChugDug.com. They have hundreds of crazy fun t-shirts like gun, patriotic, and you better believe zombie shirts. At ChugDug.com, you'll find quality shirts at a quality price. All shirts start at just $10 with free shipping over $50. Mention Radio 1 coupon code at checkout and grab a cool 10% off. That's ChugDug.com. T-shirts with attitude.
The At Odds Show with the greatest political talk show hosts in history, Nate and Brian. And it's sad that they actually believe that. So give a listen because the delusional need love too.
Here's George Foreman with InventHelp.
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp has been helping inventors for more than 30 years and has sales offices nationwide. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas. If you have an idea and want to try to patent it and submit it to companies, you should call InventHelp today for free information.
Listen, I can't guarantee a company will be interested in your idea, but I believe every inventor deserves the opportunity to step into the ring and take their best shot. Put InventHelp in your corner.
To get your free inventor's information, call 1-800-353-4716. That's 1-800-353-4716. Again, 1-800-353-4716.
Good evening. When I'm not out sucking blood, I'm listening to the At Odds Show with Nate and Brian. Those two guys drive me batty. Batty. writes this crap? Where's the writer? I want to suck his blood.
And welcome back to the Ed Odd Show. I'm Nate. That's Brian.
That's why my neck's sore, because I wrote that crap.
Yeah.
He sucked my blood.
I don't understand. Okay.
That's what it was.
All right, so...
he bit me in the neck. Which First Lady held seances at the White House?
We had a couple guesses.
Yes, who do we
One
have?
being Betty Ford.
Okay.
It was not Betty Ford. Betty Ford was much too...
Early, recent.
Well, no, I was thinking nice.
Intelligent?
I can't think of the word.
Not crazy?
Like fancy? Yeah. What's the word? Yeah. And then...
High class?
Yeah, that's sure. The other guess was Hillary. That's also not wrong. I don't think witches actually hold seances.
Probably not.
I'm not sure if they do though.
They do. They do. Not. They do eat little children and let people die in foreign countries.
It hurts.
The truth hurts. So, what were you? Come on, were you impressed that you knew that I knew that?
You didn't know it. You looked it up.
I did not look it up.
I was a little impressed, but
okay.
Given the fact that you know a lot of stupid crap that no one needs to know,
right?
Not too surprised.
All right. So this was Mary Todd Lincoln.
Yeah.
President Lincoln's wife. She was nuts, by the way.
Mrs. Lincoln.
She held seances because, why, Nate?
Well, her son got ran over by a train,
no.
according to you, which is the other fact that you
I
knew.
Got that wrong.
Right.
He died of typhoid. But,
he was hit by a train, but it
Willie
didn't kill him.
Yeah, he bounced right off of that.
I don't know if that's true.
No, I don't think so.
They didn't have a lot of trains in the 1800s.
Little Willie died of typhoid, and it really devastated Abraham as well as his wife. And she held seances trying to communicate with her dead son.
She only got a hold of him twice.
Yep. And he said, Mom, can you come do my laundry? So,
right.
You know, that's what kids do.
And she did.
Yeah, she did. The wings are hard to get clean. The white wings, I mean, you got to brush those the right way and everything else.
Willie was a good kid.
He was a good kid.
That's good.
All little good kids go to heaven, right?
That's dogs. You're thinking of dogs. Willie was not a dog. Although they did have a dog, I think.
Yeah, I think every president has a dog.
I think you have to.
Yeah. Even if you don't like dogs, which
right.
Some didn't. All right. Do you want to do this day in history?
No.
Okay. So in 1865, the American Civil War officially ends, which is odd because it's June 2nd, right?
So how fitting is our trivia question, given this day in history?
It's perfect. Well done. Which is odd because Robert E. Lee surrendered on April 9th.
The brother of George Ely.
I don't think so. At Appomattox Courthouse, right? There was a big battle there. He surrendered a couple of months early. But it was this event that is generally regarded as the end of the Civil War because Confederate General Edmund Kirby Smith, commander of the Confederate forces west of the Mississippi, because there's a lag time there, right? Because there's a time change. Because west of the Mississippi is a long ways away, and it's an hour or two Okay, takes time for things to get out there. Anyways, he surrenders under terms offered by Union negotiators. With Smith's surrender, the last Confederate Army ceased to exist, bringing a formal end to the bloodiest 4 years in U.S. history. So guess what? How many Confederate and Union soldiers were killed?
Total?
Yeah, it's the bloodiest war in the United States history.
Yeah,
obviously,
I mean,
because the enemy and the good guys, depending on your point of view and where you live.
Yeah, hundreds of thousands.
620,000 is the estimate.
Yeah. Holy cow.
Most died of disease. The microbe killed more than the mini ball.
And you... Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Actually, a bit of trivia is the Confederate... You know, a lot of times you got shot in the arm, they cut your arm off. You got shot in the leg, they cut your leg off, right? And you die from infection and stuff like that.
Sure.
Actually, the Confederate had a better survival rate because they couldn't get silk sewing thread for medical purposes, for stitches and stuff like that. So they used horse hair. And what they had to do to get the horse hair loose enough to work with the needle, they had to boil it. Because when they boiled it, sanitized it.
Yeah.
And so they had a better success rate.
The Civil War probably could have ended quite a bit sooner than it did if one of the generals had listened to Lincoln's order to attack.
Oh, yeah.
At one point. And
Gettysburg?
They ignored him. And
that was McClellan.
We're not going to attack. I'm scared.
McClellan.
Yeah.
General McClellan he loved his army and didn't want it to get destroyed.
Yeah, and it didn't at that battle.
And he was replaced with General Grant. General Grant says, I don't care if he drinks, that man fights. And he did fight.
Yep. So, okay, let's move on to something more recent.
Well, almost anything would be.
It's back in 1901. No, I'm kidding.
Where are we?
Nah, the gorilla. What's his name?
Let's do it.
Harambe.
Harambe. 19-year-old or 20.
17.
17.
Yeah. Not even an adult yet. The poor teenager.
No,
a harmless.
He was a big silverback. He was a dominant male gorilla.
Come on, harmless teenager.
So obviously, little 3 or 4.
He was just on his way to get some juice.
Falls into a gorilla enclosure.
Right.
The male gorilla grabs him, pulls him around, tosses him around, hugs him. I will love him and kiss him and hold him and so it took a while for the response team to get there, and they decided that they didn't want to tranquilize him because the fear was it would take too long to react. And listen, and the possibility was that he could have passed out on the child, which the video I saw was in a water, like a canal.
Right.
It was a water part of the exhibit. Yeah. And it was a foot deep or whatever. But if the gorilla fell on the child, the gorilla could have drowned as well as the child. Even if the gorilla fell on him on dry land, could have suffocated him. So they were
crushed
concerned.
Him or whatever. Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a heavy gorilla.
So they wanted to save the child's life.
Yeah, but the gorilla was just being a father figure for this poor kid, right? I mean, he was just playing with him.
Actually, that's. Yeah.
Well,
even
you
if
ever seen a gorilla play with its own young?
Yeah, they're pretty rough.
Yeah.
Especially males.
Yeah.
They don't typically like little ones
right.
as much as the females do. Now,
because they're annoying.
The thing is, they don't know their own strength. They're incredibly muscular.
They've got 4 hands.
They're incredibly strong. And he could have tossed that kid around for hours. Yeah. So they killed Harambe and saved the little boy, right?
Which is, it's sad. Right.
Very sad. Kind of endangered or at least threatened. It's sad.
Yeah.
Now,
but
on the other hand, human life, you would want to place above that of even an endangered.
Humans aren't an endangered species,
no,
though.
I
mean, we have a population issue.
Right. If you want to be cold about it, we could kill half our humans. And there are people on the left that believe that.
Yeah, they never volunteer to be first to help solve the problem.
We discussed off air where if I hear somebody say,
I don't know if I would discuss that. But go ahead.
I think humans are terrible and they're destroying the planet, and I wish they were all dead. I would hand them my revolver and say, go first.
Uh-huh.
And then you said, very wisely, she would probably shoot you instead of herself. Or herself, or his self.
I didn't say don't do it.
I know you didn't. I know you didn't. I noticed that too.
Yeah, yeah. They never volunteer.
Thank you.
Anyway, continue.
Well, and so it's pointed out that there was a school bus driver who injures 20 kids when they, and I don't know if it's a male or female, when they swerve to avoid hitting a cat. Ran the bus into a house.
Did they hit the cat?
They saved the cat, but 20 kids, many with broken bones.
But did they die?
They didn't die.
This gorilla died.
But I think the point was that...
I call that a win-win.
Here we are trying to save a friggin' cat, and we injure 20 human beings.
I mean,
we save the life of one and kill a non-human.
I take the gorilla over a cat any day.
But what was interesting was that the media coverage of the gorilla was like 50 times... more than the 69 shootings in Chicago over the Memorial Weekend.
Well, I will tell you, I on especially the national media didn't